guys, welcome back to the show. Happy Tuesday, January 9th. I hope all of you watched the game last night because we can go right into that Michigan-Washington. What happened on the hit list today? We have a lot to talk about, and as you know, we talk about football, baseball, basketball, golf, tennis, volleyball, every sport you can imagine. So if we missed that off the list on that little rant right there, don't feel butthurt about it. We go through all sports, and before we dive into the main topic today with Michigan, Washington, what happened, we're going to welcome our co-host to the show, the guy that has a face for radio, looks better in low def, and last night during the win, he was wearing whitey tighties. We found out. Welcome to the show, Brent Chapman.
Yeah, there we go.
Looks like a whitey tighty look, I got to tell you.
Yeah, so they were whitey tighties, but they were maize and gold, or blue and gold. They were maize and blue. They were my Michigan whitey tighties because Brent is feeling 2024. His hometown football team, the Michigan Wolverines, are national champions. And his hometown Buffalo Bills are cruising for a Super Bowl. This could be a pretty cool next 4 weeks.
You're feeling really good right now, I know. And I know Isaiah Standback from yesterday's show, a live call-in, former NFL player in Washington standout, is really not feeling that good this morning. We'll have to have him back on again with live video to talk about what happened in the game, but also what he has done. But listen, Brent, I got my jacket on, and guys, just so you know, behind the scenes, during a little wardrobe change, Brent said, oh yeah, I have all these sport jackets and all these sport coats, and everyone watches this right now is like, yeah, okay, Brent, you wear t-shirts every day. So I just want you guys to appreciate that Brent does have a large variety of wardrobe that he's just not wearing.
You know what's kind of funny? In the Dallas CIO circle, I am actually known for my very sophisticated, classy, stylish. I have velvet coats, flowered pattern suit coats. I wear, the Air Jordan 1s. I don't wear T-shirts ever. But somehow on the Brandon Mason show, I'm the T-shirt guy. So you send it, I'll wear it. Let's do it.
Look, you know why I love it, Brent? Because the fact that people could send you shirts and you can wear them any day, I love that. But I also like the fact that I could put on this sport coat and you wear that T-shirt and people actually think that I look really sharp. Until you show up and you put a sport jacket on, I'm going to be like, okay, maybe I should go back to the T-shirt setup.
They're going to be. I'm not going to be below average white bag. They're going to be calling me B Money. That's what they're going to be calling me.
All right, B Money. Let's dive right into what happened yesterday. Here's the thing, Brent. And when I watch the game, here's what I'll tell you. I have a lot more respect for Michael Penix. Now, he didn't play a good game, so that's not why I respect him. I don't respect him because he played great yesterday. I don't respect him because he was on target yesterday. I respect him because I could actually see, what they had in that lineup. And I got a chance to go, okay, wow, his receiving core, all the offensive weapons he had. I really saw it, and they stopped the run really well against Michigan in the second half. Now, in the opening part of the game, this is what I want to talk about. I think it was kind of important. I really, really liked what I saw from J.J. McCarthy, and I think the relationship with J.J. McCarthy and Jim Harbaugh is special. And I think people watching this right now have to understand something. That is the most important part of that organization, and a lot of other organizations, and in the NFL, the quarterback, the head coach, very important. Or if you have a quarterback coach, very important. And the love they shared, obviously, as teammates, friends for a long time, was special. And I can't say enough about J.J. McCarthy, but first, before we go into him, Brent, I want to just stay on this topic for 1 second about Michael Penix. Didn't win the game. I want to say congratulations to getting to the national championship. I think we can get him on the show. I have people that are talking to him, see if we can have him come on and talk live. I think that he has a lot of talent. I think he had an off night. I think that he can play much better, and I think Washington could play much better. And the first half kind of slipped away a little bit. They did battle back. I give them a lot more credit, I think, now, even though they got beat and partially blown out in the beginning, I really have a lot more respect for them. But now let's move on, Brent, to the more important part of the segment right now, which is J.J. McCarthy in my eyes. And I want you to give your take on Michael Penix, obviously, also. But J.J. McCarthy, to me, is an NFL caliber guy. I'm not talking about, Brent, his ability. Before you say no, I'm not talking about just his ability, just his accuracy, or just his gameplay. I'm just saying this. As an overall quarterback, what I want as a running back, right, is someone that can direct the huddle, someone that can make throws. And let me tell you something. He made some throws yesterday I thought were pretty nice. Not all perfect, but he made some nice throws. In a national championship game. This isn't a game he played against a Division II score, the opening game where they play against, Michigan versus, XYZ State Community College opening game. But he made throws. He ran for first downs. He showed that he can make people miss. He also showed that he's a leader of the team. He speaks well. He's just, to me, all around, he is a great college quarterback. Jim Harbaugh said he's the best quarterback to ever play at Michigan. And for Jim Harbaugh to say that, I'm not going to take that lightly, because Jim Harbaugh, obviously we'll get to in a minute, is exceptional. But Brent, I really want you to weigh in on this realistically. Weigh in on Michael Penix, so people that are listening to this, and when we upload the clips to YouTube, all the highlights, weigh in on Michael Penix. Give your thought on him, and then weigh in on J.J. McCarthy.
And I want to talk a little bit about the game, too. And
of course.
What the game went in. So what do you want me to do first? You want me to talk
Let's go into Michael Penix, what you saw.
All right, so Michael Penix, I believed he should have been the Heisman Trophy winner. What we saw, last night was I was a little disappointed. I think if you're an NFL scout, you saw arm strength. You did not see him handle pressure very well. And what I mean by that is, I was talking about this with my son this morning. There's a way that you get your body squared up and you can handle pressure and still get a ball off. He was throwing on his back foot. He was flipping things like this. It did not. It looked really, really raw when Michigan was coming at him. And I think that hurt him. I saw today, though, he's like a 12th pick in the draft right now, projected, right? So that's still a first-round grade, but I'm not exactly sure where he'll land. But, he's an impressive quarterback. He played well all year. As Isaiah said yesterday, he's played great the last 2 years. He finally got credit this year. He deserved his accolades in college. And we'll see how that translates to the pro. He definitely has the arm that NFL scouts like, so he'll probably be a first-round grade. But, man, some of those basic sort of things that I look for in a quarterback, I was a little nervous last night in the game.
He made those throws all year, though, Brent, right? Before you go to J.J. McCarthy.
I don't know.
I agree with you.
He wasn't really pressured like that all year where, look, so I have a son who's been with a quarterback coach since he was 8 years old. So they are teaching him how to handle that pressure and what to do and how to hold your body and how to handle yourself and where to step and what to do when you're and it just didn't look very methodical last night, and it was a little it was a little concerning to me. I'm sure scouts know a lot more about it, and maybe it was just the game and the atmosphere and all that. But I would have concerns with how he handled pressure.
People can call in live, just so you know. Howard put the link in there. We do have a phone number you'll be able to use. It's not in there at the moment, but you can click on the link. It'll get popped in right now. You can click the link and call in. But Brent, before you go to the next spot.
I was going to talk about J.J. McCarthy.
But Michael, hold on. Before you do that, Michael Penix, what you just said, I agree with everything. But what I want to say is Michael Penix did not get the type of pressure. I understand that. But this was a national championship game. It's a big stage. I got to tell you this. We're not talking about someone who's 30, more mature, 40, someone like yourself who can run an operation, run another operation. When you get off the show here, you have a massive company, my NIL pay, where you're running a whole bunch of stuff. He's in college. You only have a certain amount of capacity at that time to realistically take all this in. And he knew he had to prepare for this like an interview for the NFL, to win his game, for his future. I mean, a lot of this is riding on his coattail. He's got great receivers. And I think that he made a lot of great throws and guys drop passes. And then he missed throws that he could have easily been on target for that he did all season. And I think playing with that and having all those nerves and all that hype and all the morale and all those people and all the fans and the noise, this was the game that he didn't play his best game, but I agree with you. He has the arm strength, and he was just pressurized. He fought through a little bit of injuries. I think he was hurt there at the end of the game. Barely made it off the field. It looked bad, to be honest. He should have just came out with the last 3 minutes ago, down by, XYZ. I think you put Michael Penix on the bench.
He wasn't coming out of that game. No,
they weren't going to take him out.
No way. But my son and I were laughing about it. It looked like he had a freaking flak jacket on. I mean, my son wears the rib thing, but that thing looked like he had about 4 inches thick of protection.
The other one looked like it had a pad on it. It was just like, man, what's going on that side of your stomach, right?
The QBs wear those, right, to protect their ribs,
of course.
And it does help, but that thing that he had on was far more substantial than what I normally see, right? So maybe he had a pre-existing injury. So talking about J.J. McCarthy, and I didn't look up what his sort of draft projection is, but I'm going to throw this out at you. Do you remember a guy by the name of Ken Dorsey? He was everything that you just described. I think he didn't lose a game in college as a starter.
Yep.
Right? He was a stud and won every game and was a great leader and managed the offense and could hand the ball off. And Miami won, I think, 2 championships in a row, right? And that's more of what J.J. McCarthy is to me. And Ken Dorsey went on to be sort of a career backup in the NFL, right? And now he was the offensive coordinator of the Bills, and he's gone on to be a successful coach.
That's right.
And so that doesn't mean that J.J. McCarthy won't have a career in football, but I don't think he's going to be Tom Brady. I could be wrong. I probably would have said the same thing about Tom Brady 22 years ago.
Brent. That's what I'm talking about. He's a leader, though.
There's a lot of leaders. That's my point.
Team.
That's my point. Ken Dorsey was a leader. Ken Dorsey was a leader. That's probably why he stayed on as a backup for so long. That's why he's a coach in the NFL.
What's wrong with that?
Because he is a leader.
But what's wrong with that?
Nothing. But I'm saying he's not going to be a first-round draft pick. He's not going to be a starter in the NFL.
Well, let's say this. You win a national championship game. You played for the best team in NCAA football this year. You have one of the best coaches in the history of college football. And I think he spoke very highly. He didn't just say, a lot of coaches do this with their quarterback, especially when they win. Love this guy, great guy, love being around them. But that's not the conversation we'll get to in a second. I'll let you finish on J.J. McCarthy. But the conversation is, even Jim Harbaugh said, this is the best quarterback to ever play. I don't think we can take that lightly. I think he made all the plays he needed to make. I think he could have made more. But I think, like I said, scrambling out of the pocket, made it with his legs, made a key first down, made a big play at a big time, and that's what great players do. He speaks very well to his team, to the organization, to the franchise he's going to be on. All this is important. It's not just, like I said, I had guys at Pittsburgh that got to Pitt, and they were amazing. Couldn't play. They didn't learn the playbook properly. I got guys that are really good, not the greatest, starting as a freshman because they knew the playbook. And it's important to be well-rounded, not get in trouble. I mean, when I look at J.J. McCarthy talking, and I look at Penix talking, and then I watch the gameplay, and I put this film on, Washington really deserved to be there. And I'm not saying that lightly. I didn't think they really deserved to be there until I started watching this game. But I really think Alabama, Michigan would have been a hell of a national championship.
It looked like it was going to be a blowout, Brandon.
That's what I'm saying. And the coaches deserve to be there because they made changes. The defensive coaching staff of Washington made changes to the game to show they are national championship worthy. When you're down that much in college football, it's really hard to battle back.
Yeah, that's right. Now, Brandon, a week ago when this game was announced, I told you what the keys to victory was. Do you remember what I said?
Right.
I said that Michigan would need to run the ball, and if they could run the ball, they would win this game pretty handily.
Of course.
They set a national championship record with 303 yards rushing, 134 and 2 touchdowns by Blake Corum, and 104 yards by Donovan Edwards. Now, if I was Jim Harbaugh, I would have kept Donovan Edwards running because he
I'm
only
so
had
glad you said that. I'm so
carries.
glad you're saying this.
But I mean, it's Blake Corum. We got to get the ball to Blake Corum. He's the guy. But dude, Donovan Edwards should have been the MVP of the game.
He's coming on the show. No, he's coming on the show.
He's first 2 carries, and I'm sure I can get that hooked up with my friends at Michigan.
He's coming on the show.
The first 2 carries of the game for him were 41 yards and 46 yards touchdowns. I don't know why they just didn't keep giving it to him. He might have had 300 yards in that game. He was just killing it. I
really liked him a lot, Brent. When I
Michigan
saw that
ran
game,
the ball.
I watched this game last night, and I said, I was watching again my cousin last night. I said, listen, they should have gave the ball back to Edwards. And then, he also made the mistake. He said, yeah, but, the running back Blake is killing it. I said, no, that was Edwards. I'm not saying that Blake didn't play well. I'm saying when you watch that game and you go, wow, I'm not taking anything away from Blake. But if you ask me, I'm just being real.
Run.
Look, I got my Michigan jacket on here. I'm not hating on him. I'm just telling you, Edwards was the MVP. I'm just telling you,
if
that
you're a
was
Michigan
what
fan,
made this game
Steelers
great for
fan.
Michigan. He was the reason why they were so explosive.
I mean, look, both guys are studs. I think it's tomato talking about them, right? I mean, they're both great players. Yeah. I would have liked to have seen them once. I mean, if a guy comes in and has 2 carries for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns,
he's touching it again.
You think it would say, all right, you earned a shot to kind of get a few more carries, but no, they just stuck with Blake Corum. They stuck with the plan, which is fine. So really now, Brandon, and I'm going to segue for us. The attention now is on a guy who went to a Super Bowl as a head coach and lost to his brother, and now won a national championship as a head coach. On this show, I have said that if I were him, I would go back to the NFL. What say you, Brandon Mason? But did he disappear? Did he fall?
No, listen.
Did he take his shirt off, Howard, again? What was that delay, Howard?
Brent,
did he need to get in a few pull-ups or push-ups in that break there,
and
Howard?
it's not my coffee because my coffee's gone. I got
What
in the
was
wrong
that?
mug. So
where's Howard? Can we get Howard on today? We need to get
Howard knows what's going
There
on.
is-
Howard's in the back.
did he
Like, this
disappear to
game
do a
was
couple
outrageous.
push-ups?
Yeah,
Did he think that was a break?
He was getting ready to strip down to get more live stream tips.
So look, this is what I want to say about Jim Harbaugh. I can't say enough about the man that he is, because to win a national championship game alone is very difficult. To coach against people like Nick Saban, in order to get to the national championship game, I'm sure you lose players in the game, injuries, mental capacity has to be running dry. I mean, Nick Saban, obviously one of the best to ever coach. And then now he has his brother on the sideline, John Harbaugh, who looks like his twin brother. It's like having 2 of the best coaches in the history of sports on the sideline with you in a national championship game. So a lot of people, I think, Brad, I think you said Isaiah said he didn't like that idea or wasn't a fan of that. But
yeah, Isaiah said yesterday he felt that having John Harbaugh on the sideline was a disadvantage for Washington. Look, John Harbaugh is there to probably cheer his brother
moral
on. I don't think
support.
He's not coaching. Okay.
Agreed.
Now, I'm not to say that John and Jim didn't have a conversation during prep, right? And John said,
They
"Hey,
had a
look
lot
at
of
this."
conversations.
I'm sure John. I'm sure Jim, out of respect to his brother, called his brother John and said, "John, what do you think about how I should attack this game?" I'm sure he got that input, but he wasn't out there coaching. He was watching.
But Brent, when I'm watching these coaches, one thing I'll say, now that Jim Harbaugh got a chance, he won his national title, right? Now it's John Harbaugh's turn for the Ravens. But the question is, will Jim Harbaugh transfer into the NFL? And here's what I think is going on. I really believe that Jim Harbaugh is a little torn right now. And I think what he's torn between, I'm going to pull this picture up here again, is this. He's done everything he could do in college football at this point, except you want to say win more national titles, okay. But he's done that. He's won a national title. You have to understand one major key important thing, and I'll pull this other picture back up. I think this is really, really significant, okay? You don't get this feeling back. And it's not that you can come back next year and keep your quarterback. Right? John Harbaugh can come back and have, Lamar Jackson in the huddle again next year and really have that camaraderie and that understanding and build that legacy for 10 years. Usually it's 5 or 6 or 7, but I mean, you can do that. In college football, and why it's so special, and people watching this right now have to understand something. You have a couple years to be with your key players. Most quarterbacks in college football don't start right away. They don't come in and they don't play usually as freshmen. So that opportunity for Jim Harbaugh, and I know this from experience, from being around this type of team and environment, that comes in and then it goes. Can Jim Harbaugh come back next year and re-coach another quarterback? Of course. Can he have other players? Of course. Can he find another Blake Corum or, just give an example, if they leave or come back? He can replace people. But the feeling you have, what you build, is gone. And you have to rebuild it again. And then what happens is you have people in your ear now. Come to the NFL, man. You've done it all. Your brother's there. Go battle a whole nother experience. Get back there where you can kind of, the guy's a little bit older, a little bit more, less babysitting in certain circumstances. But I think when he answered the question very specifically, when people said something to him, it was, I just want to enjoy this win over Washington.
Yeah, that's right. That should tell you everything you need to know.
And I think that is really important because it's, hey, you won. What's next? And he's like, I don't care about what's next.
Dude,
what I care about
let me enjoy this for 20 seconds.
Yeah, just won the title. Let me enjoy this with my team. Don't
I
let
love
me go
the
on your
media,
national
Brandon.
TV and say, I'm out of here. That would be the worst thing to do. So
no, I understand.
think,
He would never say that. That's why the media is like, dude, we are the new form of the media. And that's why the Brandon Mason show is going to be the greatest show on the
we're
planet.
on our way up. I got to tell you.
Because we are not doing that nonsense. Nobody should ask him that. So
I think he's going to leave.
I'm going to give my thoughts.
Hold on, Brett. I think he's going to leave. And it's not because he wants to. It's because pressure from the college. I'm glad you gave
an opinion.
Pressure from the college, pressure from, losing his players, pressure from people saying you've accomplished everything already. So it's, where does he have to move to? Does he have to pick up his family, relocate to a whole nother state? That's the only part that comes into play, relocating your whole family. I think it's time for him to do that. And I think it'll be tough, but I think it's time for him to do that. And I believe he should be an NFL coach.
So I believe in Jim Harbaugh's heart, he knows, does he really want to be an NFL head coach or does he really want to be a college head coach? He has been both. He has played in the championship game of both. He now knows the answer to that question. And this decision is the next 10 years decision. So whatever is in Jim Harbaugh's heart, if he views himself as a pro coach or a college coach, is what he will do. I believe Jim Harbaugh is a pro coach. I believe Jim Harbaugh needed a break from the NFL, came to his alma mater to help restore them to glory because they were not doing well before he got here. He did that. He accomplished that. He won a national championship. He'll be a hero for Michigan ever, and he's going to go back to do what he's always wanted to do, which is be a pro coach. So I agree with you on that. Now, what I want to do is have a little fun, Brandon.
Hold on. Wait. John in the chat said he thinks Jim is coming back and JJ is coming back.
Whatever. Neither is coming back. Okay.
Why you think they're both? You don't think JJ could come back with Jim Harbaugh?
Maybe Jim. I don't know. I mean, it all depends what his draft projection is, which I didn't look up or see. So, anyways, what I want to do is have fun with this. Brandon and I both agree Jim Harbaugh is going to leave. Yeah. So, Brandon, where should Jim Harbaugh go, and where will he go? I'm going to tell you what I think. I think he will go to either the Raiders or the Chargers. I think the Raiders are probably the most likely. Jim likes being in California. He coached at Stanford. He coached for the 49ers. So I think the Chargers are a good one. Las Vegas is very close. In fact, I thought it was in Oakland, I get confused with that. But this is what I want. Well, let me add one more. I think the Commanders are an interesting dark horse. They have a completely blank slate for Jim Harbaugh to come in. They have $65 million in cap room. They have the number 2 pick. They have sort of the best situation, but he's not going to go to the Commanders. Where I want Jim Harbaugh to go, and what I think could potentially happen, and I'll explain this a little bit more in our fired section down there, is I want Jim Harbaugh to go to the Chicago Bears.
That would be cool.
The Bears.
That would be very interesting. That would be extremely interesting. And I like that. I like that pick because I love the organization. Chi-Town, Chicago. This is a big football sports city. I love that idea.
He will be there till he retires. Don't forget, he played there. Do you remember that?
That's very interesting, Brent. Very interesting.
I'm telling you, and I'm going to tell you something else that lends credence to this. Matt Eberflus, who is the current coach of the Bears, has only been there 2 years. He's 10-24 in 2 years, right? They are not very good, and he's a rookie head coach. Now, they may, all things being equal, be willing to give him a third season, but not if Jim Harbaugh is available, baby.
Now, Brent, listen.
Start the whole flight tracker thing. You know how they do that, Howard? They get the tag, the flight tag, the private jet tag of the owner, and they track him on flight tracker to see where he's flying to.
Well, listen.
That's what they're going to be doing with the Bears and Harbaugh.
We got to move on to another opportunity. I know you don't think it's going to happen. Belichick is going – there's going to be some changes here, whether he stays with the organization or he leaves there. Now, listen. Listen to this. I agree with you that the Bears would be a great opportunity for Harbaugh. But listen, a lot of owners are talking right now to Bill Belichick. And I got to tell you this. The Atlanta Falcons are talking to Bill Belichick and have some other inside conversation. And I think some of these teams make sense. Some of these teams don't. And I will tell you this. I would like to see Harbaugh go to the Bears. I like that. And I like the Patriots. And here's why. Harbaugh, unlike Belichick, Harbaugh has plenty of years to coach if he wants to. Belichick has realistically 4 to 5 if he wants to keep coaching, roughly that. That's my opinion. I think Belichick will have to step down in the organization or take another coaching job, and he wants to. And I think I would hate to see that because I like Belichick with the Patriots. I like him to retire. That'd be great. But I really think right now I would like to see Jim Harbaugh go to the Patriots.
Do you really think the Patriots are a destination? The Patriots are a dynasty
because
of Belichick and Brady, not because they're the Patriots.
I know. But
once all those guys are gone, they're just the freaking Commanders. They're not anything.
Boston is a sports city. Boston has the Patriots, right? They got the Celtics.
But Harbaugh is not a Boston guy. So here's what I think. I think Bill Belichick is going to retire and go off and live on his boat. But if I were now put this back on me, I'm more interesting than this old guy. Look at this. Low def is better than this is what you want to look at for this. So Bill Belichick. Now, if I, Brent Chapman, B Money, or Bill Belichick, I would want to go to the Chargers. And here's why. Because I would love to live on the beaches of San Diego. Wait, they're not in San Diego anymore. Well, close enough.
Yeah.
L.A., it's close enough. You could still live in San Diego. I would want to be in San Diego. What a great retirement. I have lots of money so I can live. San Diego's the best place in the country to live if you're wealthy. Bill Belichick is wealthy, so he would love San Diego. So I would live in San Diego, and I would coach the Chargers. And here's why I would coach the Chargers.
And then go back. So you live there, but then let me just tell you something. It's not close.
Wait, hold on. I got to tell you the number one reason I would pick the Chargers and why I wouldn't pick any of those other teams if I'm Bill Belichick. Because they have Justin Herbert. They actually have a quarterback. Bill Belichick can build around Justin Herbert. He can do that for 4 or 5 years, live and have a nice, calm retirement. It's like a semi-retirement. It's like easing into a retirement. It's like retirement at home. That's before you go into the nursing home.
Well, let's
That's
move
what
on,
I
Brent.
think.
Let's move on to a topic that you love. It's the Falcons. What happened with the coach? Watch this clip here, and it's on the sound's down, so you can comment right here. Comment on what's going on.
Watch this. This is great. So the Saints go for this 4th down when they're up by like 80 points, and they score. And he is pissed. He is, look at this. That's BS. Like right here. That's effing BS. Right there. Yeah, did you see that? That was a very pronounced that's effing BS.
So to explain this, they were supposed to kneel this. Guys watching this right now, they're supposed to kneel this. The game's over. Instead of kneeling the ball, the quarterback makes a change. Goes, you know what? No, let's run the ball. Scores a touchdown, and the coach is pissed. They rubbed it in. And the coach is like, I didn't call that damn play. I didn't call that play. It was Jameis Winston, who changed the play call and said, hey, run it in. And listen, Brent, they might have did that to get the bonus, I'm told. So one of the players on the team apparently could get a bonus if he scored again.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, look, this isn't little league football. This isn't youth football. It's not like, dude, I'll be honest with you. We were in a 7-on-7 league or a game. We were in a game and we were up by 30. And I did the same thing at the end of the game because I had backups in. Because, dude, it's a football game. There's no timeouts. You just play. And I had guys
but they lined up in victory formation. This is not
well,
the same
that's
thing.
different. I didn't care. And the coach said something to me afterwards. Did you have to score a touchdown at the end of the game? And I said, hey, look, I had backups in that don't get to play and don't get to score very much. Your job is to stop them. Their job is to score.
Yeah, but Brent, I like that idea. If they're going to run the ball, you put your backup in, they're playing, they're getting some game reps. But to line up in victory formation, the defense has conceded, the game's over. They're barely coming off the ball, and all of a sudden, now you're going to be, what this does is, next time a victory lines up, and the team jumps off the ball and hurts the quarterback or does something, people are going to say, whoa, you're going to say, look, we got to be careful about this.
Yeah, because you might fake it and go. So
this was
Brandon,
their tush push. This was the Saints tush push.
Yeah, Brandon, let me ask you this, and I think this is the real conversation here with this. Arthur Smith was getting fired after that game. He knew that. Everybody in the planet knew that. The Falcons couldn't get to their computer fast enough at 12:01 to fire Arthur Smith. So, Brandon, put your I'm an NFL head coach hat on, and I'm probably going to lose my job. Is that the lasting moment that you want? Look, maybe he's right. I don't even care if he's right. That's not the point.
He's right.
That the last? Hold on. Is that the last? Let me finish the question. Is that the lasting moment you want in the head and the minds of owners that are going to try to hire you either this year or next year or in the future? Is you pissing and moaning about a 4th and 1 at the end of the game? Is that what you want to be remembered for?
You know, no, but I don't think that's what he was thinking. I think he thinks the coach called that play. Because Look, like I just told you, you line up in victory formation. You think the coach called that. If the coach called that, Brent, I'd be so pissed off. If you do a fake victory formation.
Let it go. Bro, let it go. Relax. You can't
Either way,
change
he's
it.
fired.
You can't change it. He's fired. If you had a problem with Dennis Allen, he could have caught him after the game. I'm sure these guys know each other's phone numbers. He could have called them and he could have said, "Hey, bro," but he did not. He shouldn't. He should have been.
This is the heat of the moment, though, Brent.
I don't care. I think it hurts him with NFL owners to see that behavior, especially when he should not have done that. He should have controlled himself. He did not control himself. I think it's a real bad look for him.
And
I don't think he gets another job.
A lot of other coaches are fired. Black Monday is the day they come back in the office and all these coaches get fired. There's so many that are going to be gone. So many changes happening. Can't even list them on there like I've been saying because it just Coaches are getting fired left and right. Coordinators, defensive
I can
coordinators.
listen for you. There's not that many right now.
No,
There's 5.
Since this season has progressed and moved on, whether it's college or the NFL, it's what have you done for me lately, like I've been saying, and coaches are gone. Coordinators are gone. Players are gone. You don't have any teams now where people keep consistency. If you lose 3 games in a row, look, you lose 1 to a good team. You lose 2. Hey, what's going on here? You lose 3 in a row. We got to look out.
Are you surprised, Brandon? Are you surprised that to date, as of on the first day, that only 2 were fired? We only had Ron Rivera.
I'm surprised, but
we had
I know
Ron
it's coming.
Rivera. We had Arthur Smith from the Falcons and Ron Rivera from the Redskins, and that's the only one that was really fired on Monday.
They haven't found their coach yet. Once they find their coach, they're gone. Listen, a lot of times you fire and then you have an interim coach, fine. But in this position right now, they're looking around. Where's Harbaugh going? Is this person getting fired? And Belichick's probably like, do I stay here? Where do I want to go? There's a lot of inside conversation.
They're not letting their coach go because I think you're right about one thing, and I think you're kind of wrong. I think there's 2 situations. One, you're looking for a specific guy.
Yep.
And you're not going to fire. You might be, like we said with the Bears, they might be good with 1 more year of Eberflus unless they can get Jim Harbaugh, right? So in that case, they're going to hold on that decision and try to feel it out. But most of these and most coach firings on Black Monday they're going to get a new guy no matter what.
Yep.
And so is it really only 5 teams that think they need new coaches? I mean, I told you, I thought I'd heard the rumors
There's
of
so
10,
many tweeners right now. So instead of being like, you're gone, you're gone, you're gone, there's coaches out there that have been there and have tenure, and they don't know. Like, I know Tomlin wasn't going, but if he did not make the playoffs and they didn't have a record that looked a little better like right now with the Steelers, if they were upside down and it was 7-9, 7-10, I don't care what anybody says.
I mean,
conversation starts up, and that's where people are confused.
Could the Eagles coach Nick Sirianni be at risk because of the tank?
And that's what I'm talking about.
They
just got done saying how great he was.
Could the Jaguars coach Doug Peterson be at risk because of how they completely fell apart at the end of the season? Could
they go like this, Brent? They go like this, and then they go like this.
Yeah,
Jalen Hurts is getting ridiculed left and right. Jalen Hurts was the man before this year. He's, Super Bowl chances. Bills too. But it was like, here's the thing.
What about Mike Vrabel? What about Mike Vrabel in Tennessee or Robert Saleh in New York? I mean, these are all guys that I think you could say are like you could definitely let them go and go find somebody else. But to your point, who else is out there? Well, look, are there a lot of hot coaching candidates or are there not?
To move on,
Jim Harbaugh,
for time restraints only.
Oh, you're cutting me off?
I'm only cutting you off for time restraints only. We got to move on. We are 10 to 11 o'clock.
I have lots to say.
And this is your freaking topic anyway.
About fired coaches.
This is your topic anyway.
I love this topic. Let's move on to this topic.
So, Howard, did you grab the picture of who he's playing against? Because I know, or the guy he's up against for Rookie of the Year this year, Howard? Or do we just have here C.J. Stroud?
I did. You guys keep talking. I'll pull it up for everybody.
Hold on. First of all.
You got to say his name, Brandon. I need you to say C.J. Stroud versus for the...
Hold on. Howard, can they see this right here?
No, not yet. Not yet. I'm pulling it up.
All right, so hold on a second. So basically, what you're looking at, C.J. Stroud, this is the guy who arguably should be, and thank you, Howard, for doing this now behind the scenes for us. So, you guys don't know, Howard's our production manager in the back, handles you see the production, the pictures, the video graphics, and everything. And he's much better than Brent and I. Thanks to him, we can do a lot of other shit on the show.
And he looks pretty good in high def, I have to say.
Yeah, right? So let me say this. C.J. Stroud is arguably the guy right now that will more than likely win, Rookie of the Year because he's a quarterback. and he's played well, not to take it away from him. But, Brent, I'll let you say, and someone's calling in right now live to talk. Give us 1 second. We'll bring you into the show. Actually, no, bring him in right now.
All right, you got it.
See who's calling.
Who do we have on this show?
Welcome to the show. Who's calling in? Where are you from?
It's Vinny again.
Oh, we got to hear it.
It's Vince the lawyer.
Let's hear it. Vince, you in?
You got to join the audio, Vince.
Let's hear what Vince has to say about this.
Oh, we didn't even say the guy's name yet. It's Puka Nacua.
Okay,
Puka
so you
Nacua.
got Puka Nacua versus CJ Stroud, Brent. Why do you think that he has a chance against CJ Stroud when you know the MVP and Rookie of the Year?
He just said, did you just call him Hookah Nacua? His name's not Hookah. His name is not Hookah. It's Puka.
Puka.
So,
Puka versus CJ Stroud.
CJ Stroud is the youngest player in NFL history to lead the league in pass touchdown to interception ratio. The last time this was 1932, which is pretty cool. But Puka, or as Brandon calls him, Hookah, had a historic season as well.
You say hookah or hookah? You say the same thing.
Stroud was the number 2 pick in the draft. Hookah was the number 177th pick in the draft.
But you're saying the same thing. You're saying hookah.
Listen to me. Let me give you his resume. Take a breath. Sip some coffee out of your Yeti mug. Listen to me. He had 105 catches, record. He had 1,486 receiving yards, record. He broke a 63-year-old mark, record. 6 touchdowns and most receptions in a game by a rookie in his second game ever, record with 15 catches. CJ Stroud's going to win this award because what he did was really cool and he's a quarterback. But in any other year, Puka Nacua should be the rookie of the year. Vince.
Yeah, okay, Brent. This is what you're saying. You keep saying, I'm saying it wrong, but you say hookah, and then you say hookah. You're not even changing the name at all from what I said versus what you said.
Hookah and hookah. You look like you just hit a hookah with those shades on. That's what you look like, Brandon.
All right, guys, enough of this nonsense. Which one of you again is the good-looking athletic one?
Oh my God.
Here we go with the live call-in. Vince, where are you at right now? Where
I thought we agreed we weren't going to let this guy back on the air.
What do you mean this guy? Ever look at my numbers? Brandon was my first ever client when I went from a big law firm to a small one. He's my first ever client. We sued. He recommended me to a deli owner, and I'll never, ever forget that. I swear to you. I will never forget that. And Brandon's a good guy.
Which deli was that he recommended you?
Get this. He would roll into the deli, and you know these good-looking athletes. They roll in. He asks for an egg and cheese sandwich, and they give him a big discount because he's good-looking, of course. Yeah. You know, you and I never got that good-looking discount.
No, I got that discount all the time when I would go to those pizza places. They love me.
Howard, did you hear this call?
I don't know about you, man. I got those discounts all the time.
Now, which one of you has a black mother? I forgot that too.
Wait, do you think that I have a black mother?
I can't see the visual. I can only hear the audio.
Oh, all right. It is Brandon that
I can't hear the audio. So Vince, now that you're calling in, what happened last night real quick with the game? I know we're on the rookie of the year. What happened, Michigan? What do you think happened, Michigan and Washington? Now that you're calling
last night was an interesting game, Brandon, because when I watched the first quarter and even the first half, I thought the score was 100-0 Michigan, the way that they were able to move the ball with ease over Washington. Now, from a better standpoint, I was taking the first line quarter for Michigan on Brandon's advice. I lost the second quarter money line on Michigan, but then the full game I took at minus $360 at halftime, which was a pretty good bet. So, Brandon, if you put down $360, you win $100. If you got Brandon money, you put down $360,000 to win $100,000.
So money's going long these days.
Yeah, and it was a good bet. Now, guys, what is your opinion on the name of the play for which a quarterback puts his hands between a guy's leg that's bent over, rubs his testicles, hikes it, and then the running back behind. Hold on,
What is it with
guys.
this
The
guy?
running back behind them.
Is the next thing you're gonna shout out Baba Booey, Baba Booey? I mean,
Don't
what
hang
the
up.
heck
I'm
is-
talking about the tush push, you guys.
Yeah, but you don't have to
The tush
describe
push.
it like that, bro.
No,
Hey, Vinny, do you think the tush push is actually working anymore for the Eagles? I mean, what's going on with Jalen Hurts? Well, I got you. I got 20 seconds before the next call comes in because I have to go every minute.
Forget that, Brandon. You have a big star like me on. Forget the other call. Is the tush push something that was legal? Brandon, when we were playing or when we were younger, I always thought that you couldn't push a runner, actually push. Now, I know that you could pull, but did the rules change at some point?
That is interesting. I think he got muted because of the time we have on. That's interesting point that he was actually talking about. Was it legal or not, Brent? Which I want to go into.
Don't ever mute me, guys, when I'm on the
Did
show.
you
If
get
I take the
muted?
time out, don't ever hit that mute button.
All right, so look, hey Vinny, real quick.
I don't have controls, Vinny.
Real quick. I don't believe that it was legal to do. And I think what happened is on the defensive side, it was illegal to push. And that's why you see guys in the field goal position, they try to push guys in to block the kick. And because they don't let you do it on the defensive side of the ball, they're trying to take it away on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
So that's really what it comes down to. I think what you're talking about with the tush push, nobody else can do it or seem to do it as well as the Eagles. And that's why it was like, whoa, this is not really good.
That's not true at all. The Bills did it 5 freaking times in the fourth quarter.
Okay, so you make up a good point. So now, in order to make football less gay, which is probably the most gay sport there is, now, I don't know why your white coat.
Oh, my God.
Come on.
Oh, my God. Anyway.
Come on, dude. All right.
I think you got
thank you.
disconnected. All right.
Listen. Hold on. After the last time he was on, I said never let him on again. Dude, this guy is like, I get it. And you said he had a connection to the Howard Stern show. He like wants to be, what are those guys? Sal and Richard that call in and do Baba Booey and all that stuff. That's what he wants to be. And it's just not like funny. Those guys are funny. Vinny, not funny. Don't let him back on.
Well, let's listen real quick, Brent, because for time restrictions, who do you got real fast in the MVP for Rookie of the Year? Sorry.
And CJ Stroud is going to win. I think Hookah, as Brandon would say, has had a great season and deserves it. CJ Stroud's going to win because he's the number 2 pick and he's a quarterback. I mean, that's it. That's the bottom line.
So let's move on to John Morant, Brent, because listen, now he's out for the season, right? With a shoulder injury. So what is the issue that they're going to have, and what are they missing? And if you want to go into that while we show the highlight clip real quick of John Morant, what he brings to the team. But what do you think now will happen with the team after watching his star talent and his ability to...
Where's my John Morant bobble doll? Oh, I don't have it with me. I need my John Morant toy.
Hey, you can use this one for
love
a minute.
John Morant is awesome. He is the greatest player in the NBA to watch, or maybe I should say funnest player in the NBA to watch. He is awesome. Yeah, he missed 25 games because of the suspension because he couldn't keep his piece off of Instagram, his pistol. And now, what did he play? 10 games, 15 games before the injury? So I think this season's a wash for John Morant. I really hope that while he's resting his shoulder, he's doing that sans pistola. That would be really great, and stay off of social media, and we can have him back healthy next year and watch this amazing athlete do great things. I hope he could stay out of trouble until then.
What's hard is a guy like that obviously going through it, still young. But he's made so much money. A lot of these guys, they want to play, but it comes down to what have you done in your career? And I think he's got a lot of basketball to play. When injuries start taking over, it becomes a problem. But yeah, without him on the team, Brent, not looking too good. If you're in the chat right now, NBA or NFL, what do you prefer to watch? NFL or NBA? I think the ratings of the NBA start to climb up during the playoffs. But the NFL, my personal opinion is during the season, during the year, NFL's rocking. NFL's rocking. I think the NBA takes off later.
NBA's hard to watch.
Sorry, the NBA takes off later.
Yeah, NBA is fun to go to a game. It's gotten really expensive, especially if you're just trying to take some kids to have a family night out. The NBA is not as fun to watch as I would even say hockey is more fun to watch live and on TV than the NBA. But the NFL is the king of American sports for sure and the best to watch. And, but John Moran is a guy that makes it fun to watch.
Yeah.
Right. When I will, if I am flipping through the channels and there is a Memphis Grizzlies game on, I will watch that
because of John Moran.
Minutes. Because I want to see John Moran do something crazy.
That just goes to show you how great a player can change your whole organization. Ticket sales, people watching, that's why they sign players a lot of times too. But listen, Brent, speaking of great players and great talent, this has come to an end for Tiger Woods. Not to be confused with that he died or passed away. It's not that. I know Howard in the compound said, whoa, Tiger Woods died?
Yeah, I was super confused. It looks like they're talking. It says it's
I
over.
Said
and
no. He didn't
Howard,
die.
when have
I
you
know.
ever
It says 90.
an obituary of a professional athlete that says it's over?
Man, I don't know. Social media is crazy.
That is not, it would say in memory of, it wouldn't say, in fact, when I die, I want my graphic to say it's over. That's what I want.
Me too.
That's
Add me to
what I
that.
Well, did you just,
oh my
God. Did you just say when you die, you want your graphic to say, bang, here's Brent.
I'll go ahead
It's
and one up
over.
you. I want my tombstone to say it's over.
Yeah. I want my tombstone to say, I want the graphic to say it's over. That's
I
what
want
I
mine to
want.
say, it just started.
That's a good, I mean, that's really the truth. But yes, I would agree with you on that, but it's over.
Brent, he made so much money. I'm not sure we have the facts and, on the numbers right now on what he made in his career.
$1 billion.
I mean, this man has made more money than most human beings will ever make in golf, which again, I love playing here once in a while, but it's so boring to watch on TV. But
Brandon, here's a question for you. They didn't end Jordan's deal. I mean, why are they ending Woods' deal? Why aren't they continuing the Tiger Woods line forever and ever and ever like they did with Jordan? He's iconic in the same respect. This is actually pretty surprising to me. I view Tiger Woods and the TW and the Nike swoosh like they would just sell that forever, just like they have sold Jordan.
Well, he lost a lot of morale at one point when he had the little incident with his relationship stuff and lost a lot of sponsors and all that. So people still have that kind of running. I think that's gone, but it's still lingering a little bit. And are they still making money on him? Who's the next player in town? Is Tiger Woods getting older? Are we spending too much money?
It's Tiger Woods. Tiger freaking Woods.
And again, not to be confused that he died. It's over with Nike.
He did not die. It's over, 96 to 2023. It's not dead. Its contract with Nike is over. Sad.
Well, look, Brent, I got to tell you, after going through this list today, with Washington and Michigan, that was arguably the best, most exciting for me college football game to watch in a long time. I'm not talking about just the gameplay, but the hype of what is Penix going to do, right?
Yeah, the hype and the lead up was good. The game itself was okay. It was certainly better than 62-3's game last year, which was just like a dismantle.
If in fact Washington connected on some of those passes, which could have easily been connected on, this game could have been a lot different. And I'm not saying Michigan didn't make mistakes they could have capitalized on, but I think Washington clearly showed if they played again, coaching, the ability how they changed the defense around and stopped the run, I think if they played again, it would be very interesting. Not that they're going to or can at this point, but I just think that if Penix had another shot at this, I think it could come out a little bit different. But Brent, listen.
Do I get my shout out? Are you going to give me my shout out today? Do I get to do a shout out?
You get your shout out, and I got one too. Let's go.
All right, I got my shout out today. Remember, you send it, I'll wear it. So we have on today our Team Pacquiao t-shirt.
We can't see it. Stand up. We can't see the shirt.
Stand up. All right, here we go. We got the Team Pacquiao t-shirt on today. Manny Pacquiao is the greatest boxer in his class of all time. He was way better than Floyd Mayweather Jr.
Do you hear this?
Mayweather is a chicken because he knew he would lose to Pacquiao. So what he did is he waited and waited and waited for about 7 years. Then he agreed to fight him for the payday. And then he hid in the corner like this for freaking 12 rounds and just didn't even fight.
I got to tell
Manny
you.
Pacquiao is the greatest. So thank you to Tita Me in the Philippines for sending me this Manny Pacquiao shirt.
Well, hold on, because I definitely agree that Pacquiao is a phenomenal boxer. And between them, I do watch Pacquiao's fight, or used to watch his fights a lot more. But let's not negate, it takes some serious talent and skill to dodge those kinds of punches at that speed. He is definitely a great boxer.
How the hell did
Is
you
it the most
guys switch
exciting
the
fights?
show
No.
to boxing on Tiger Woods with a shout out?
Ah, come on. We're talking about warriors, man. These are the only sport you don't play.
That's right.
Howard is pumped up about boxing.
We got to bring
and
that on. We got to bring that on. But listen, we got to move on because we have to get off the air. But listen, I will tell you this. Shirts, send them in to Brent. Brent will wear them. I'm going to put up a...
You send it, I'll wear it.
I'm going to put an address for people to send to. But I want to give a shout out. I actually have a family member, a cousin, Laramie. Shout out to him and prayers to him. He's in surgery right now, hoping that he comes out okay. There's a couple things they found out with him, some private stuff. A cousin of mine, Laramie, hope you're doing well. We have a lot of blessings and say our prayers to you. I hope that you
Prayers
come out
for
on top.
Laramie.
He was also a former excellent standout player, broke a lot of records at our school. A little older than me. I hope that he's doing well. Not old at all. Way too old to go what he's going through. So shout out, prayers to him. Thank you for that too, Brent. But listen, thanks for joining into the show today, Brent. Like you always do, our co-host. Thank you so much, and we'll see you tomorrow. It's been great today. We'll catch you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Guys, thanks for tuning into the Brandon Mason Show. We love to have you every day, 10 to 11 Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday. Today's been crazy. It's been a nuts week. Obviously, Washington and Michigan didn't end up how Washington wanted it to. And, for any event, it was a great game. But stay tuned because this week coming up, we got the wild card game plays, all the playoffs. We hit every single sport and all the hot topics on our hit list. Until next time.